In this video, we're going to have a look at how to calculate the area of a composite shape. Remember, a composite shape is a shape that is made up of two or more different shapes. To find the area of composite shapes, there's three steps to follow. The first step is to split the composite shape into smaller known shapes. The second step is to find the area of each of those smaller shapes you identified in step 1. And then step 3 is to add all of the areas together to find the total area of the original composite shape. If you follow these 3 steps, you'll be able to calculate the area of any composite shape provided. So having a look at the first example, and we need to find the area of the composite shape. So thinking back to our first step, which is to break the composite shape into smaller shapes that we can identify. So this shape can be split into 2. The first shape, shape A, is a rectangle. The second shape, shape B, is a semicircle. If we find the area of both of those rectangles and semicircles, we will be able to find the total area of the composite shape. So now that we have completed step 1 and broken the composite shape into smaller shapes, we now move on to step 2, which is to find the area of the individual shapes. So we'll start with shape A. So shape A is a rectangle. So the area of shape A is going to equal the length times the width. Going back to the diagram, I know that the length is going to be 50 centimeters and the width is 30 centimeters. So I'll substitute those values in. So the area is going to equal 50 times by 30, which is equal to 1,500 centimeters square. Next, we need to find the area of shape B. So the area of shape B is the semicircle. So the area of B is equal to 1/2 of pi times the radius squared. So looking back at the original shape, we don't have the radius, but we know the diameter is equal to 30 centimeters. So if the diameter is equal to 30 centimeters, my radius is going to be half of that, which is 15 centimeters. So substituting that into the formula, so 1/2 of pi times 15 squared, and that is equal to 353.43 centimeters squared. So now that I've found the area of both shape A and shape B, I can proceed to step 3, which is to add them together to find the total area. So total area is going to equal the area of A plus the area of B, which is equal to 1,500 plus 353.43. So in total, adding them up gets me 1,853.43, putting in my unit of measurements, centimeters square. So the area of the composite shape is 1,853.43 centimeters squared. Having a look at the second example, this example is a little bit different to the first. Instead of adding 2 shapes together, this time we need to subtract a shape from another shape to get our shaded area. So shape A is going to be the square around the outside of our shaded area. Shape B this time is going to be the circle around the inside of our shaded area. So I've completed step 1 by identifying my 2 definite shapes. Now I want to move on to step 2 and calculate the area of both of those. So I start off with my square. So the area of A is equal to the length squared. So going back to my original shape, I know the length of the square is 16. So I substitute that in. So the area is equal to 16 squared. And 16 squared is equal to 256. And putting my units of measurement, meters squared. So now that I've done shape A, I need to go ahead and do shape B. So the area of shape B is going to equal pi times the radius squared. And going back to my original shape, the radius is going to be 6 meters. So pi times 6 squared. And that is equal to 113.1 meters squared. Now that I know the area of my two smaller shapes that I identified, I need to go ahead and calculate the total area. This time, I'm not adding them together, but subtracting them. And it's going to be area A minus area B. So I'm subtracting the area of the circle away from the area of the square to get the shaded area in the question. So that's going to equal 256 minus 113.1. And that is going to equal 142.9, putting in my unit of measurement, meters squared. So the area of the shaded shape is 142.9 meters squared.